All right, so now Ask Us Anything, August 2026, JBJC. For anybody new, this is our information. I know you probably joined through our website or an email or social media, whatever it might have been, but we are available to you 24/7, the only nationwide FFL industry firearms consultants available to help you sleep at night. So that's the best information there. We will go ahead and put this up at the end of our presentation during our question Q&A section as well. But we do recommend that you call our cell numbers that are there. Those are our cell numbers, direct lines, so we can take your texts, take your calls, and you don't have to go through the main 336 number. All right. So what are we going to talk about today? Let's figure this out, guys. We're going to go ahead and give you a very quick update on, there you go, that ATF 34 rules that were Reformation package. We've been keeping you updated all along. We're going to give you the final summary on what's going on next, what to expect, what we know, what we may not know. JC is going to tackle this big question that is on everyone's mind. And again, a couple thousand phone calls over the last 4 or 5 days, which is unbelievable. My wife's getting pretty mad at me, but it'll stop soon. We just got to get the ATF to make some decisions. We're going to introduce our earth-shattering breaking news legal defense protection program. We're super excited. We're going to have Jeff Hewitt from LOCKTON AFFINITY on here to help us explain what's going on, what's available to you, and how you can sleep better at night. It's taken many months to get that in place, and we're super excited about telling you more. Play a little true and false, update you on our hub, and get to your questions really quickly. All right, but hey, we got it. Let's hear it for Todd Blanche. I don't have a sound effect here, JC. I wish I had the applause going, but hey, guys, we cannot be more grateful than having Todd appointed as our Attorney General for the next 2.5 years under President Trump. He is truly a Second Amendment supporter. Family runs an ammunition manufacturing business. As he says, he grew up with a gun in his hand, a hunting rifle primarily. Big Second Amendment supporter, and along with Hermit Dillon over working under him and others, Rob Leader, we are just having a fun time now with our presidential administration supporting you guys as an industry and citizens as to a Second Amendment firearm owner. So that's all we're going to say about Todd, but super excited that passed. And there were no bumps. There was a few bumps in the road, but everything's great. And the road is paved for success. All right, I'm going to run through the ATF 34 rules Reformation update for you. Again, we've been covering this monthly, so I'm not going to dive deep into any weeds, just going to give you a high level. The rules that, and again, the comment period for all of the rules is closed. It expired either on the 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th. For depending on the rule. So thank you for all of you who took advantage of the white papers we provided to you and the comments you sent in to the Federal Register / the ATF. We'll explain the process, what happens next. But hey, these are the primary rules we were concerned with before. It was the NOTC, not over-the-counter transfers, the 4473 revision, e-records, easy usage instead of FFL transfer, documentation being obtained and viewed, the NFA marking ruling, and then I'm going to touch briefly on litigation that is occurring right now that is going to impact everything else we're going to talk about today, and everything else that's going to happen to you for the next 12 to 24 months. All right. But this is basically the process, very simply. We finished phase 1 of this 34 rule reformation process, which is the comment period by folks like you and the public and agencies and companies that wanted to have some say in these proposed rulings that affected firearms. So that is closed. Now everything is in agency decision phase. Obviously, ATF is, along with meeting in rooms to discuss this NFA decision, they're meeting in rooms and all the attorneys are getting together to figure out what everybody commented on. And there are very specific rules as to how do they do this. They just don't have a personal opinion on anything. There's very restrictive and guidelines and rules that a government agency has to play by when this occurs. When they're finished, it's going to go over to the OMB, Office of Management and Budget, who is going to also implement their rules for any suggestions on new rulings to be published or adopted from the ATF regarding everything you do and how we do it for citizens who want to buy and purchase and possess firearms. So that's going to happen. Then it goes to final publication. That's when we finally hear something. That's when we finally hear whether or not we have something we can discuss and something we can run with and something to expect after all of this is finalized. And then obviously it'll be FFL dealer implementation guidelines, training, tutorials, stuff we'll produce. ATF might produce some stuff, but we'll have training videos, guidelines, SOPs. We're getting really good at this. We've got new programs in place to help us get this done faster, more accurately, and quicker to deliver to you, make accessible to you. So that's where we are. Okay. So briefly, this has probably received the most negative comments from all of the rules out there proposed was this not over-the-counter process, which allows FFLs to sell online to residents of the state in which they are conducting business, license, and warehousing firearms to actually do the whole process through the internet and through new technology platforms of verifying ID and doing a video interview and doing a one-on-one with the FFL and a customer. It sounds crazy, but guess what? We also have clients who are big box and big manufacturers and distributors who are saying, how do we do this if this gets passed? That's scary. And at the same time, the majority of our clients, like most of you guys, are single shop, mom and pop, single store units, maybe working from home, maybe working a gun show. And you're saying, what is this going to do to my business? What's it going to do to my cash flow? How can I compete? Those are the type of negative responses that went in, aside from the fact that how do I make sure it's not a straw sale? How do I make sure I don't have personal liability or business liability in this deal? How do we know what transfer and selling against the right person? How do we know it gets there? What does UPS think about this? Boy, are there a lot of questions. So thank you. Again, this is probably, we've probably had more conversations on this one, I think, than any other one in the bucket. So 4473 revision. Yes, we saw a draft way back in like January, February or so, even before then, I think. Before we went to SHOT Show, we had a draft. But what does the final 4473 look like? What's the process? What's changing? We have no idea. So again, a lot of you did copy us on the comments you did send into the Federal Register. Why are we doing this? Why are we turning this thing upside down and inside out? How can we be sure of A, B, and C? Why do we have to go back and attach paperwork to the form and upload it to our system? Is this even constitutional? We got all those questions from you guys. And you sent them into the ATF. That was awesome. Many of the larger organizations also we chatted with also sent in their consolidated replies. So good job on that. But we have no idea what it looks like. Can't even give you a hint as to what it might be, how many pages, what's changing. We can only assume because we looked at all those different questions and changes they proposed. So as we say, hold on to your pants here. We might know in a month. Maybe we'll hear something in September. I think the latest will be October. What happens thereafter? Well, it goes through the further processing of OMB and then publication and then distribution and implementation. So we're guessing that the 4473, a new one, will be in place by announced for January and probably required by April or so. That's our professional industry guess.
I actually just got an update on this.
What do you got?
It's probably not going to be until summer at the earliest. Literally just got an update on this.
Yeah.
If we're lucky, it'll be summertime.
Distribution or implementation, which one do you see?
It'll be released for implementation, but it'll still be optional for that 120-day period of time. Okay, there are going to be numerous changes. Yep.
All right, there's your update, guys. As we
Yep.
hear, we tell you. So stay
Yep.
tuned. Make sure you're signed up for our newsletter. All right, FFL Easy Check. Just want to remind you that this was put out there that you could go ahead and use Easy Check when you're doing FFL to FFL transfers, that you didn't have to go and obtain or view or see a copy of the other FFL's license that you're sending it to. Well, that was pulled back. The old process is back in place. FFL Easy Check is a good backup program, and we hope this gets revised, regurgitated, reissued to be used. It made sense. We just don't know exactly why they pulled it back. JC, any insight on that?
I have none. There were some concerns with the way the statute's written, or rather the regulation is written, so they had to pull some stuff back and change some language, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right, stay tuned on that one. Regarding your records, electronic records, do you need variances for, using digital platforms, for storing in the cloud? There's a lot of questions regarding variances for electronic storage data usage and requirements. Again, those are they were closed August 6th. A lot of good comments on that. We think that's going to move forward with a lot of positives for the industry and software providers. So if you haven't gone digital yet, you're probably it's going to be favorable to probably go digital in the near future. We have lots of vendor partners. We can send you white papers on that as well. So keep in touch if you're interested. Record retention, we're hoping it does go back to 20 years. On 4473s, they're proposing 20 or 30 years versus forever, which is today's mandate and requirement. So we'll keep you updated on that. But we're feeling good about that also. And then NFA markings, again, that's going to be that was closed, and a lot of criticism and comments and critiques on why do I have to mark this and how do I mark that and why is it if it's already marked? Well, all of that I think is going to fall into what JC is going to talk about in just a little bit regarding the whole NFA program. So we're not going to talk anything more about that. On the litigation side, let me go back here for a minute. So here's the bottom line on all of the rules. Don't do anything different yet. We can't reiterate that enough. Don't do anything, just like this NFA issue. Don't do anything until you have clear, directive, documented process issued by a government regulatory body, whether it be the ATF or your state agency. Don't change any processes. We will not be changing any SOPs or guides for you, either directly or on our VIP hub, until we get the definitive direction to make sure it's lawful. Our attorneys look at it. They look at everything before we publish it. We want to make sure you guys are dialed in to exactly what the law is, because if we tell you to do something wrong, we're liable, and we don't want to do that, and we don't want you getting in trouble, and we don't want to get in trouble. All right. A little litigation going on. You already know about this over in Illinois and Connecticut. There's two big giant cases being heard by the Supreme Court in October. They're going to review all of the critical details of these lawsuits that are pending, make a decision, figure out if the assault weapon ban is legal in those states, and if the magazine ban is legal and constitutional in that state. And we believe it will not be, because of there's a whole lot of in common use laws related to Bruin and different and Heller that the Supreme Court's going to use to digest and decide on these two major cases. The cool thing is, over in New Jersey, this has already been decided by their circuit court, the Third Circuit Court of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. They already decided that assault weapon bans and magazine bans are unconstitutional. We believe they're smart enough to get ahead of this, so they don't look stupid after the Supreme Court issues their rulings, and they can say, yeah, we're smart too. There was no reason for the Third Circuit Court, to fight this at this point in time, knowing what's coming down the pipe. So we're very excited. But regarding New Jersey, the only issue here is it's not mandated yet for lawful implementation. The state of New Jersey, as of July 31st, they requested a stay, which is just a delay for them to reply to this decision. And we believe it's because they need time to get everything in place, because they have so much regulation through the state police process. They have permits to purchase. They have pre-approval processes on certain firearms. They have restrictions on others and 30-day waits on others. They have to clean up a lot of stuff before that decision is implemented for the Third Circuit. So that is coming. Congratulations, New Jersey. You guys voted for it and did the right thing over there. You campaigned the right place. You paid the right organizations to lobby for you and fight this for you. So congratulations. Delaware, you're going to be right behind New Jersey as far as changing your state laws. All of those wheels are already turning. So guys, this is all great stuff. I don't think I had anything negative yet about this, except this NOTC issue that even I don't like. So, woo. Hey, so don't do anything new. Freeze your process. Don't let your employees tell you otherwise. Don't believe any talking heads on the internet. Wait till you get it in writing, either from us or from a credible regulatory website or documentation sent to you by one of your state agencies. They're usually pretty good about that. Maybe in some states, not so much. Massachusetts, Colorado, they're a little behind the times. New Jersey, you should surely see something come out from your state agency on what's happening and when. If you guys have questions, give us a call. We can answer those questions in text very quickly. Again, go right to our cell numbers. Don't use the main number. And the biggest issue is, especially with all the state stuff changing, whether it be now or in the next year, make sure you're checking our restricted states guide for what is and is not able to ship to another state. I'll talk about the restricted states guide a little later, but boy, there's so much change and you better make sure you're correct because the states will come after you. Many state attorney generals have already stated that, whether it be Washington or Minnesota or Chicago or Illinois, rather, they don't care about what the feds or ATF decide. They don't like what's happening. They're upset. Same thing with New York. They're going to come after you if they can find fault. So be careful what you're doing out there. JC, what's this thing about?
So, although everything is closed out in the Federal Register, there is one more opportunity as they are currently going through all of the submissions and recording everything and preparing responses and such. As they're going through that process, you do have one more opportunity if you missed the boat. One more opportunity to submit your comments with regard to some of the changes that are coming down the pipe. Well, the way you'll do that is send it to ora@atf.gov. Now, this is a very small window, so be aware of that. All you're going to do is ask that your request be considered and send it in at the same time, whatever that request or whatever those comments are. So that's ora@atf.gov. So you do have that one last opportunity. So just be aware. And just so everybody is aware, just got an alert from the Attorney General's office. Speaking of Todd Blanche, he has just pushed forward communication that he has, as one of his first actions as Attorney General, finalized a federal regulation and launched a new process allowing eligible individuals who are prohibited from possessing firearms to apply for restoration of their federal firearm rights. That just hit the wire. That just hit our inbox. So they asked Matt over at the AG's office, or over at DOJ rather, asked us to push that out and communicate it to the industry. So we'll be sending more information out about that as well. But literally just got the email like 2 minutes ago.
Woohoo!
Yep. So one more big news coming out. Yeah. So
one, there's some more customers for you. There's going to be some confusion on this. JC, please make a big note. We'll get something out tomorrow to you guys through our email platform. Again, if you're listening on YouTube or something like that, make sure you sign up for our newsletters. We do push all of this time-sensitive information out to you guys via email as soon as we can get something out to you. So I would say, JC, I'm going to leave this next section up to you, man.
Oh, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate this.
And I got the waiting room for you.
This has been the headache of a century for us since last week. As JB mentioned, thousands of phone calls coming in. So what is going on with the NFA? Well, here's the deal. The uncertainty is not a green light. Yes, the court came down and basically declared that silencer suppressors, whatever you want to call them, SBRs, SBSs, can no longer be governed, regulated, restricted by the NFA. No more NFRTR, etc. No more tax. That means that they can no longer be regulated under the National Firearms Act. So, what are we advising FFLs? Well, if you weren't one of the thousands of FFLs that called us, what we are advising all FFLs is to hold fast. Do not deviate from the standard Form 4 transfer. And the reason being is, quite frankly, these are still on your NFRTR. And if there's a stay or if this is overturned or whatever the case may be, it's going to create such a boondoggle for the industry. So I appreciate, all these FFLs that jumped the gun and went after it, but you better have a contingency plan. And I get it. Some of you are going to say, well, the guy down the street's making tons of money. Well, yeah, right now he is, but guess what? All that profit that he's allegedly making, God forbid something turns on this and it goes the other way, he's going to be spending all that money to defend himself. So there's no point in risking your license right now. Basically we have until October. So we anticipated them filing their appeal. However, they did not, but they still have until October, roughly first or second week of October, to file that appeal and seek a stay with regard to this. Now, does that put you, if you did transfer a firearm, does that put you in a defensible position? It depends. It all depends. It depends on what happens and what the court says. So you want to be really careful. We anticipate potentially that if you are one of those FFLs that have transferred something, that the ATF will come out with some sort of guidance for you. If you did transfer a firearm on a 4473 rather than going through the Form 4 process. But I want you to look at it this way. As far as I know, and everybody on the call, there's a chat that you can certainly put your information on. But if they are sending your distributor, whoever it is, if they are sending you that NFA firearm on a Form 3, they're just removing it off of their NFRTR and putting it on yours. So if a registration is not required, why are your distributors still sending you them on a Form 3 and not as a standard A&D acquisition disposition record transfer? That's the big question. That's the question you should be asking yourself. So we really need to be careful with this. And we've talked to all of our practice partners, law firms. Everybody is on the same page. Hold fast. Don't do anything. Let's wait and see what happens in October. Everybody is saying the same thing. So, this is pretty straightforward, right? The NFA is extensive paperwork and all that kind of stuff. Just keep going the way you've been going. Don't do anything just yet. We want to make sure that you all are protected. And that's really important. And this is going to be one of the very few times we're going to tell you to keep extra paperwork. And why do we say that? Because we want to make sure that you have the ability to prove that you transferred something on a Form 4. So make sure you're holding on to a copy of that Form 4 when you make that transfer. Scan it, keep it electronically, keep it in your email, however you receive it, etc. But just hang on to a copy of it just so you have some evidence, some proof that you did everything properly. So in case this thing does get ugly or turns on us in a negative way. So we'll look at your comments here at the end of the podcast and get to any questions you all may have. Hit the next slide there, JB.
JC, talk a little bit about Silence's shop and all the restrictions for a minute.
Yeah, I think it's on the next slide. As far as the states go.
No. Well, just because of all the different people running, and I just, when I think it was Jason says, Silence's shop is a statement saying it's a go and that it's not helping. And that is not helping. Just having this, even though this is a Silence's shop primarily. And joined.
Yeah, there are a number of different organizations that were the plaintiffs in this case, and they're covered by it. And yeah, of course, we're a capitalist society. Silencer Shop wants to sell silencers. They're a named party. So the challenge that we face is, are you a named party? Are you a named party as part of the plaintiffs? Are you a member? Are you not a member? Who's a member? And then you have the other side of the counter, the customer. How do you know the customer's covered, right? Is the firearm going to a trust? Well, with a GCA firearm, there's only one way you can transfer a firearm into a trust, and it's an asset piece, it's a property item. So you need to be really careful with this because you're going to be stuck with trying to differentiate if you're covered and if the customer is covered. So you need to be really careful about that. And then you have the nuances, and I think it's in the next slide, of who's covered as far as what states, etc. But we just have to be very careful with this.
You see, I'm getting a note that my screen's not sharing. Is it still there?
I'm still the ruling that changed everything.
Okay, hang on. Keep talking. I'll get trying to.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing and start over. I'm gonna come back to this. Give me a minute.
Yeah, you're still there. You go. You got rid of your screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back and share.
Yep.
Okay, how's that?
Better. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay.
So as I mentioned, you might want to go back one slide. Let me see what the slide prior was.
Trying.
Okay, go to the next slide and then go to the next slide. So October 26th, that's first or second week. We expect something. We'll have more knowledge then, so that'll be good. So just hang tight. Go to the next slide. So I just talked about this. Can your customer actually use this? The injunction is not a blanket erasure of the NFA for everyone. The NFR still exists. ATF is still operating as it was. I was with ATF headquarters folks last week, and I'll tell you, they're holding fast as well. They have not been given any guidance. They cannot do anything as a party as being enjoined in this case. So what you need to be careful of is you're not going to get any information out of them. And they're the regulatory authority. And they're waiting for guidance from the administration and from the Department of Justice. So you need to hold tight. So allegedly, we'll get something from the ATF at some point, but it's not going to be until this thing gets rectified and we figure out whether or not DOJ is going to go ahead and, in fact, appeal the situation. So if you're getting information from IOIs or field divisions, I'm telling you right now, be careful with that information unless it's something official in writing. If ATF headquarters isn't able to tell me anything, I can tell you the field divisions 100% can't tell you anything. So, the rumors out there, all well and good, but until I hear from somebody at ATF headquarters that tells me otherwise, I'm holding fast. I'm not doing anything, and I'm not providing any guidance other than stay the ground, do what you're doing. Yep. Waiting isn't just the risk-averse option. It's the only rational one. That's a big statement right there. When it comes to the NFRTR, NFA firearms and registration and such, you just need to be very, very careful. So next slide.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I'll just mention it was kind of crazy. The first 2 days.
Yeah.
Thursday, our phone was ringing Wednesday night because of Brendan Herrera and everything that was going on. Wednesday, we started getting calls Thursday at 4 a.m., 5 o'clock in the morning. And it's calmed down a little bit, but here's the interesting thing. All the attorneys, all the credible internet influencers out there that specialize in, from Colin Noor to Bill Kirk, Mark Smith, these are guys we talked to too. We're all friends, and we're all saying the same thing right now, including the executive director of SAF said, wait, as of last night at 10 o'clock, they said, wait. No matter who's telling you what, there's only one agency that can tell you what to do legally, and that's your regulator, the ATF. So why jeopardize this? The comparison we used is the government told us the speed limit on the highways changed, but they didn't tell us what the speed limit is yet. Yep. So it's that simple. We cannot proceed without having definitive, lawful regulations to follow and work by. And there's a lot of folks out there, again, doing this. And God bless them, and I hope they have their retainer in the bank, because this thing can go sideways, and we have no prediction after 60 days what will actually happen. So, if you need the money that bad, sell silencers. But if you don't, follow the law.
And don't be one of these FFLs that allows your customer to dictate how you conduct your business. You're the licensee, they're the customer. I would tell you that that's not a good customer. So it's an unfortunate situation, but just stay the course for the time being. I know I saw a couple comments in the chat. What about Colorado? Well, what about a number of other states? There are 15 what we call NFA states. And what that means is those states actually have laws or statutes on the books that essentially classify NFA firearms as dangerous weapons if they are not registered under the NFA. So that's a big question. Colorado, where we're based, certainly is of concern because the NFA goes away. Everybody that's currently in possession of these firearms, what does that mean for them? So we need to be very cognizant of that, especially when you're talking about individuals that have dual citizenships and the different scenarios involved. Granted, you can't transfer to an out-of-state resident, but you're going to see very strange things happening if this stays intact. So keep that in mind as it relates to the NFA. So just a rundown as far as if the DOJ appeals and a stay is ordered. Completed transfers may be legally safe. If, say, a stay is ordered, we would expect some sort of guidance for those FFLs that have transferred on what they need to do, because as I stated, if they did it on a 4473, it's still on the licensee's NFRTR. So I would anticipate some sort of, ex post facto clause that prevents retroactive criminalization, but we don't know. We just don't know. And then you have the other piece where, okay, a stay is ordered or issued, and you're in the process of transferring one. At that very minute, you're doing a background check. The individual's delayed. He comes back, and then a stay is ordered. You better know not to transfer that firearm at that time. And then the heaviest burden of all, you got it on your NFRTR, and it's not in your A&D book anymore because you made the transfer. So, this is going to be very ugly for a little while until we get some good guidance from the ATF. So, just hang tight. 60 days, not that big of a deal.
Yeah. That being said, we will not have a daily update unless we have a daily update from the ATF.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of you are in the habit of just saying, "Hey, anything new, anything new." Guess what? We've got more than I'll just say 6,000 people in our email list.
Yeah. Yeah.
That we'll get this information asking us those questions. So we just ask, lay low, hold on, make your decisions based on your knowledge. But unless we have a firm legal decision, we're not really going to tell you otherwise.
Yeah. So just hang tight. Here's a little risk matrix. Item already home, acquisition protected, continued possession may require retroactive registration. That's for the customer. I would anticipate ATF, if the stay is ordered or if this is overturned, I would expect individuals to be alerted or some information be provided out there to give them an amnesty period to go ahead and get those items registered. And then obviously, on the FFL side of the house, how am I going to get this thing off my NFRTR if I did do that? If somebody, and I know there's a few FFLs out there that they sold the silencers, did the 4473, and they've been holding it for the customer until this gets sorted out. Just make sure your employees know. Not to do those transfers. We've had a couple of situations where employees were not given guidance and they went ahead and did it thinking, okay, we're okay now. And the FFL, the owners have called us and said, what do I do? What do I do? And we've told them, listen, you could be protected. You may not be protected. Good luck. I would recommend getting that gun back. So, and then those NFA states, don't do it. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. If you are an NFA state where there is a statute or regulation on the books that deems these to be dangerous weapons, if they're not NFA, don't transfer on a 4473. Stay the course, go through the process as traditionally done. So,
and keep in mind, box 28 can only be used when there's an approved Form 4 in your hand, in your system.
Exactly. Right. Yep, exactly. Mid to long-term picture, we've talked about it over and over, and I just keep harping on it. For individual buyers, tell your customers, there's the unregistered possessor trap. It's not good. And they'll need to be paying attention. If they bought one of these things on a 4473, they'll need to be paying as close attention as we are in the industry to ensure that they don't fall into that unregistered possessor trap as far as being in possession of contraband, because it has to be registered on an NFRTR. And then on top of that, if they are in an NFA state, they risk state law felony risks as far as being in possession as well of dangerous weapons. So, and then FFLs, you've got your NFRTR, you've got your A&D record, your over-the-counter liability. What happens if you transferred one of these without going through the process, and then all of a sudden the customer's put into a situation? I don't think plaque or anything else is going to save you on that one. So you need to be careful of that. And until there's ATF guidance, again, don't do anything. At least wait for that. So hold fast, document everything meticulously. Again, we recommend if you're transferring them on a Form 4, keep a copy of the Form 4 just in case there are issues. As many of you have found many times, things are processed through your NFRTR through the e-forms, and for some reason, the item doesn't fall off your NFRTR, so you want to have evidence and proof in those situations. Watch the window. We will definitely get you any information that becomes available to us as far as directive from the ATS. So stay tuned for that. And as JB mentioned, please don't call us every day asking if we received an update. Trust me, we will get that information out to you as soon as it becomes available to us. So that's our official guidance. You need to hang tight, stay the course, keep doing things as you always have. I know a few of our attorneys are on the call today, so if any of them would like to speak up, I doubt, but feel free. We've spoken to all the law firms, all the industry law firms for the most part, and everybody's in agreement with us. Hold tight, stay the course. Let's see what happens within the next 60 days.
Right. And as we said, we are not, well, first of all, we're not attorneys. You guys know that. We're consultants, but we have attorneys. And we will not deliver any information to you unless it was vetted, approved, and reviewed. But here's the bottom line. This is fabulous. This is great. It's a great problem to have. It's great stress. And my wife's like, what's so strong? What's all these phone calls all about? The industry is turning around. It's almost like a 180. We've got a great administration. We've got a great attorney general. We've got Hermie Dillon, who is suing every state who has stupid laws in place and state restrictions. We've got Silence's Shop winning cases. We got a Second Amendment Foundation winning. We got all the lawsuits pending. Everyone, no matter who you are today, whether you have an SOT, want to get a Silence's Shop kiosk or not, you will be selling silences within a year, is our prediction, and trading in them and pawning them. Same thing with SBRs and SBSs. All of these firearms, quote unquote firearms, are going to be deemed in common use one way or another. We believe it's going to happen through the Supreme Court decisions, hence a decision next spring. But this is super exciting. I don't care how many calls we took and how many people we had to talk to and how much time it took to get these slides ready, because everything's changing so fast. This is super exciting for the industry. And the numbers are just going to explode. And, just like Colorado, everyone ran out in Colorado in July and bought their SSFs, their assault weapons, before the ban took place. Talk about people, once these rules are expunged and exonerated, and the rules are deleted and removed, and appeals go through and everything's fine. This is going to be a whole new industry for us. And your stores are going to be full, but your assortment is going to be much more diverse. So I'm pretty excited about everything that's going to be happening. We talked to some folks this morning. Some of the manufacturers out there are already pushing short barrel shotguns like never before. The models are really cool. The Shockwave today, or the Shockwave of today, will be replaced by short barrel shotguns. Plain and simple. It's going to come. We're going to go back in history and back in time. So, guys, this is super exciting. Hope you all paying attention. We'll again publish everything as it comes. But what a time to be in the industry, and just hold your breath. Yeah, it's you're not going to miss Halloween. The candy's still going to be there, but just wait another month or two before we firmly know what's going on, if not sooner. We hope it's sooner, but we do believe it's at least a month or two out. All right, JC.
Well, do we have something to announce today, Mr. Bacher?
Yeah,
Maybe.
but here's a cool thing. I don't know if you want to get our buddy online here. Here's a cool thing. Compliance isn't a project. It's not something you do once or get ready for because you're already ATF's down the road doing an inspection. Compliance and a good compliance program is a strategy. We've expanded our new program as of January 1st. Most of you know that. All our VIPs understand and know that. And the one thing we're missing, you VIPs are asking for, is something that was afforded by and provided by the other agency we're with and associated with, legal protection in some way. If in fact you do get in trouble, if the administration changes in 4 years, if I do get in trouble through a warning letter, warning conference, or subsequent revocation based on my past inspection history. We're dealing with one this morning. It's not going well. And this is just in time for him, maybe. All right, the ATF's there and they're doing a wrap-up session today, and it's not looking very good. So we were able, thank goodness, finally to partner with one of our long-term preferred partners. And we're going to be talking now with Jeff Hewitt over at LOCKTON AFFINITY OUTDOOR. Many of you already use this agency for your protection, legal defense, or rather your insurance needs. But Jeff is joining us today to help us celebrate the launch of this great new program. Yes, it's only available to our VIPs, but that's a great benefit. You're going to realize the value of it very quickly. And I'm going to let Jeff and JC go ahead and handle the rollout here. Are you guys ready?
Jeff, you on the line? I see your name up there. Let's see if
I'm
you
here.
got your. There you are.
Yeah.
Jeff Hewitt, LOCKTON AFFINITY OUTDOOR's long-time partner of FFL Consultants. Scott, Jeff, we've been working with you since the very beginning.
Yep.
The floor is yours, my friend. Let's talk about what we have to offer the community.
All right. Thanks, JB and JC. Always enjoy listening to you guys and hearing all the great stuff that's going on. So I'll just start here. JC probably called me back at end of May with this idea. And insurance industry is not very agile or nimble. So for us to roll the clock to mid-August and have a product ready for you all, that's moving pretty fast. Although JC and JB don't really think that is, but we got it pushed through here pretty quickly. Again, Jeff Hewitt, I've had the pleasure of managing our outdoor program for the last 26 years. I work for LOCKTON AFFINITY. We're a subsidiary division of LOCKTON Companies. We're the largest privately held insurance broker. And today, we insure, over the last 26 years, we've continued to grow our programs and our appetite within the FFL industry. And today we have about 4,000 commercial FFL business that buy some sort of insurance from us, mostly general liability and some property coverage. But today we just want to talk specifically about this FFL protection program that we work together to create as a standalone product. You want to go on to the next slide there, JB? So as it says, meaningful protection, it's just very straightforward. For those of you who may purchase some insurance from us today on a general liability policy, we've probably offered you the option to add this coverage, and a lot of you probably already have it. But this is the first time that we will offer this on a standalone basis without all the other insurance coverage. I mean, we'd love to write everything, but if you just need this today, we can get you signed up. So we're giving up to $50,000 of protection per policy year. And this is for coverage for your legal defense when you're involved in a hearing. And we'll talk about the process here in a second. And then we've got a premium cost down there, which you see we were able to keep that down under $200 a year. If you have a policy with us now and you're not sure if you have it on it, you can certainly call and talk to one of our reps here that work for me, and they can guide you through that. Or if you have one with us and you want to add it to it, we can certainly add it to that particular policy that you already have in place. But I think we're the only ones in the industry that supply insurance to FFLs that are offering this as a standalone product, which is something that I think is pretty unique, and we're excited to be able to partner with FFL consultants, so to be able to do that. Very simple application. We need a business name, contact name, address, phone, email. We're going to ask 2 questions. When was your last ATF inspection? And then the history of any ATF violations that you might have had in the last 5 years. And those wouldn't include just an audit letter that says, hey, we did your audit and here's how everything came out. We're just looking for any violations that you might have had. So there might be a little bit of a narrative for those of you who have had that. Next slide. So I think this is important. So if you get a notice from ATF, we think you need to talk to JB and JC first to help you sort the letter out. A lot of times those can be handled in a response, or some modifications that you're making or explanations that you're going to do. If you then get the next round, which says we need to go to a hearing, then we need to report that claim over to our third-party administrator, basically claims adjuster in real-world terms. And they'll work with you as you get closer to that date to help you find, with FFL consultants' help or whatever attorney you would want to pick, or we'll make a recommendation for you. But we just want to get you the best representation for your hearing so we can get the best outcome.
Yeah. And Jeff, I'll jump in for a minute. And
Yeah.
some of you already, some of you guys kind of heard through the grapevine this was happening. But the reason we want VIPs to have access is because we know you guys are in our system. We talk to you. We have notes on you. You're doing our training guides. You're getting our SOPs. You're watching our videos, and you're doing your onboarding training in FFLC Academy. The hope is that you guys never have to get to the hearing process. That's the hope. And if you've been through any of this before, and we did over 200 of these revocation hearings under the Biden administration, you don't want to be there. And this morning we had a conference call with a client who's just got his new license because his old license is definitely going to get revoked based on the next inspection that he expects very soon based on a prior warning conference. So there's all these little moving parts and tentacles and strings attached. So we hope that you guys, when you join up through us and get this super discount, super low cost program and the super defense behind you and peace of mind, that you're never going to have to use it. I hate to say it. We want you to be good drivers and never use your insurance, versus that bad driver who is apt to hit a telephone pole. So that's part of why this process is structured the way it is, and kind of like we're the first stop, and just have a little clarity on that.
Yep. Thanks, JB. So I wanted to just put a sample claim in here. But before I do, I'll just talk about it. I would say in probably the last year of the Biden administration, we probably had 15 claims that were ultimately went to a hearing. And this is sort of from our plea. The earlier you can get information over to FFL consultants, the less likely that the outcome is that it actually goes to a hearing. And we also want to make sure that if it's going down that path, we want to know in plenty of time. I mean, we have one of our claims that we had a little bit ago was someone came to us 4 days before their hearing to file a claim. And there's nothing we can really do there other than expend the legal defense dollars to have somebody go sit in the courtroom with them, because that's not going to be a very good outcome. But this is just one. You can see the ATF allegations that came through. There was a response. There was still a hearing. We paid for the representatives to be at the hearing. The legal defense and an ATF reversed their position. So again, we don't win all of them, certainly. But if we start the process early enough and go through the advice process, and then if it still gets to the hearing and we have a lot of ammunition in there when the hearing happens, then our the reverse of the position of ATF is much more likely than if we just find out about it very late in the game. I've seen a few questions in the comments. How do we start this process? We have a toll-free number set up. There's an email address there, but what I would suggest do is you go into the VIP area within the FFL consultants page, click on our link, and it'll bring up a contact form, and you can just put your name and information in there in the contact form and put FFL protection plan in the subject line. One of the things I always like to say is, in our program, this is all we do. So I've got 4 people, Ben, Cade, Brady, and Josh on my team here. And on a monthly basis, we'll sign up more than 125 new FFL businesses, existing FFL, new policyholders to us every month. So these guys, this is all they do. They understand your business. And then we have a customer service team here that's got even more people on it, but that's all we do. We have a big enough book of business that our service providers are all, very well versed in the issues you're dealing with and some of the things that you have to deal with. So you can give us a call. You can send us an email in, but I would suggest you go to the VIP area within FFL Consultants page and shoot us a note. We'll send you back the simple 1-page PDF fillable application. You get it back to us. We'll send you a proposal. You can sign it, and we're good to go.
All right, Jeff, we got just a couple. We don't want you to hang out for another hour. So we
Okay.
thought if we have some questions, we get them answered quickly. If that's okay with you, I'll read you the first one from one of the first ones from Bennett. Says, Jeff, if we began releasing of course this is fitting. If we began releasing suppressors via 4473 without, I guess, a Form 4, and it ended up being an issue down the line, would ATF defense coverage come to our rescue?
If it results in a hearing, then the answer would be yes. We would step in there.
Yeah. Good answer. How do we email the application? Yeah, if you're a VIP, just go to the VIP hub. We already have it set up. It's going to take you to the locked-in affinity link for us. Again, it doesn't spell out all of the details because this program is so new, but you just contact them through the form, either in a subject or in the comments box. Just write you're interested in the legal defense protection program with us, and you'll get connected right away. No problem there. It's just that our landing page doesn't look great yet, so that's why we're spelling this out for you today. Does the locked-in insurance coverage also represent FFLs dealing with local or state compliance issues, or just a federal level?
Currently, this is something that JC's been hounding me on. Currently, the insurance program just answers for ATF issues.
We're working. Jeff and I are working very hard on actually bringing some more items to you all as FFLs, and we'll keep you updated as progress continues with those options.
Yeah. And the coolest thing, Jeff, I got to tell you, even when you finally came back to us with a price, I was blown away. So thank you. Thank you. The industry thanks you for that. So that's really cool. Another one, do you work with New York City compliance issues?
That's a great question. I'll say this. We write business in all 50 states with the exception as we do not write any firearm business in the state of New York.
New York is a wonder. New York.
Jeff, for clarity, are there any other states that this would not apply in?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. So guys, hit our site, VIPs, just hit that landing page. Anybody else got questions, give us a ring and we'll walk and talk you through it. Jeff, we want to thank you 100% for being here today and making this happen for the firearms industry.
Thanks, guys. We enjoy the partnership.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate all your work on this.
You bet.
All right. And guys, if you have more questions, we'll take them.
To answer that one question, if they're curious, do you work with New York City compliance issues? Now, granted, Jeff and the team at LOCKTON may not write there, but we do support FFLs operating in restricted states. So you're aware of that.
Yeah, FFL Consultants does support for all states.
Yeah, all states and territories.
Right. Okay. Unfortunately, sometimes,
Yeah,
including Cook County and Manhattan. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey guys, you know what time it is? It's true or false. We're going to challenge you. JC, how do we do this?
Well, you will look at the bottom of your screen that you're currently in. You'll see that react button. If you pop open that react button, you'll see a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Give it a test. Try it out. Let me see all them thumbs ups. That you get it. Good. Yep. Exploding thumbs up. So as we're answering those questions, if the answer is true, give us a thumbs up. If an answer is false, give us a thumbs down.
All right. We're going to try to, for the sake of time, we're going to run fast. Here we go.
Yep.
First question, a stripped AR-15 lower receiver that can only be assembled into a rifle may be transferred by an FFL to an 18-year-old because federal law permits an FFL to transfer rifles and shotguns to persons 18 or older. True or false?
Look at that. A couple thumbs up. What's going on? No. A receiver is a receiver is a receiver. Doesn't it matter what their intent is? So that is false.
Next, a customer sends a defective, we get this call every week. A customer sends a defective pistol to a manufacturer. Instead of repairing it, the manufacturer sends a replacement pistol with a different serial number back through the customer's local FFL. Because the serial number was changed, federal law always requires the customer to complete a new Form 4473 and a background check. True or false?
A mixed bag on this one. No, this is false. If they are replacing the same type of firearm, handgun, pistol, revolver, rifle, as long as it's the same type firearm, it could be returned to the customer as a gunsmithing item. No 4473, no background check required. Again, has to be the same type of firearm.
Just make a note in your bound book?
Yep, just make a note in your bound book. It was a warranty replacement.
Even if it's a different model?
Even if it's a different model.
All
can't be a different type.
All right. A customer tells you, I'm buying this handgun as a birthday gift for my adult son. Because the son will ultimately possess the firearm, the son is the actual transferee buyer and must complete the Form 4473. True or false?
Lots of falses. Good job, guys. That's true. Or that's false. It's true. It's false. Yeah, the customer has qualified their intent, and it's a bona fide gift. And your response to that just be, it's a bona fide gift. You're not getting anything in return. They're not paying you for it. They've declared it. You've confirmed it. Move on. Go ahead and transfer the firearm.
If the customer answers all Form 4473 questions correctly and next returns a proceed, the FFL may complete the transfer even if the dealer has independent information giving reasonable cause to believe the customer is prohibited from possessing a firearm. True or false? Saw it on the internet. My neighbor told me he got arrested last week. That's what we talk about.
On social media.
Independent information.
Fine. Good job. Everybody's got thumbs down. I saw a couple thumbs up, but most everybody has thumbs down. That's correct. It's false. Our saying is this: even if it's a gut feeling, you should not transfer that firearm. If you have knowledge, you should not transfer that firearm.
And you reserve the right to refuse a transfer for whatever reason whatsoever.
For any reason whatsoever,
Yep.
Even if it's just a gut feeling.
All right. An FFL receives a privately made firearm. We get a lot of PMFs lately.
Ugh.
From its owner for a minor repair at 9 a.m. in the morning and returns the repaired firearm to the same person at 3 in the afternoon. The FFL must serialize the PMF, enter it into the A&D book, and complete a Form 4473 before returning it.
Look at that. All those thumbs down. You guys all must have been listening to us back in the day when that came out. What is that? 21R05F, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep, absolutely false. It has not been in your building over 24 hours.
A customer who purchases a firearm from an FFL intending to sell that firearm to another person at some point in the future must answer no to the actual transferee buyer question 21A because the customer does not intend to keep the firearm permanently. True or false?
Mostly thumbs down. Good job, everybody. Yep, that is false. Absolutely. Keep that in mind. Everybody, it's property. You may have the intent to sell it at one time or another. Heck, you may have the intent of pawning it one time or another. So, absolutely. Good to go.
All right, give us a thumbs up or thumbs down on whether or not you like the format of these questions this month. A little tricky, scenario-wise.
Lots of thumbs up. 1 thumbs down. Didn't like it, huh?
All right.
We
these are a
tried
little
to-
more realistic. Again, we take the true and false questions from the issues you guys call us about between webinars. And we figure if 10 people have that question, so do so many others. All right. JC, why can't we spell sometimes?
Oh, we can't spell because our provider won't let us spell it. We use an IVR and a CRM solution, and it has a phone system tied into it that we can receive texts from anywhere, phone calls from anywhere, on our computers, on our laptops, on everything, phone, iPad, you name it. Everything in my house rings every time you guys call in. So, but unfortunately, because we're not using a personal phone, we're using a business phone, the carriers actually have rules and regulations about certain terms, so we can't say gun or firearm. We have to misspell it in order to get the information to you. So if we send it and we say FA for firearm, now you know why.
Kind of like what you guys challenge with Facebook every day.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So copy what we do now. Spell it purposely. All right. And hey, the most important thing, guys, we got a lot of you on here today, but there's a lot of people who call us and we don't know who the heck they are when they come through our system. And so we may or may not pick up the call right away because we're talking to somebody else, etc. But especially if you're a VIP, hey, get all of your team members to sign up on our website. Just sign up for our newsletter. Get them into our system so we have their name and phone number or name and email address. That way we can know they're a VIP when they're calling in. When we talk to them, we can talk to, say, hey, Joe, or hey, Susie. And then we will ask them their FFL company just so we can start to get our information better on our end so we can figure out, who's calling us when, because we also get a lot of spam calls too, and we don't want to mistake one of your important calls for a spam call. So get your members to go, just have your team members go out and sign up right on our website for our mailing list. And it also allows them to get all of these timely updates directly, even if you're on vacation or you didn't read your email for a day or 2 or 3, or your email went to spam or important message went to spam, it will still go to your team members. So it doesn't cost anything if they get in the system. Thank you very much. All right. JC, it was still a busy month. I mean, the ATF's out there. They're more lenient. Yes, we know that. But surprisingly, we did not have a whole lot of perfect results from audits. We have, again, somebody going through a bad challenge today, bad meeting. We had another guy call about switching from his current license to his new license so he can get rid of that bad report card. But we do want to highlight Jessica and then Nathan, Matt, and Cameron. You guys did a great job here, especially with all the Colorado stuff we got to deal with. Paul in Minnesota, Samuel in Michigan, Tim and Cindy, Steve over in Georgia, hip hip hooray, Mitchell in Maine, RC in Michigan. Yeah, man, you and your wife enjoyed that wine. I know we talked about it. Congratulations on that inspection. And Lucy and Marv over in Oregon. Hey guys, the most important thing is when you have an inspection going on, when they show up, call us. If you don't already have our inspection guide, go to our website and get it. How to prepare for your next inspection. Call us, make us a partner. We're not going to charge you to get on the phone with you and get you through the ATF inspection. If you're not a VIP member, we're going to help you get there. Maybe you'll use our tools later, but we're here for you. Let us know when they show up. Keep us updated, and we'd love to see you on this reward winners board at the end of each month. All right, quickly, just a new update on our VIP hub items for all your VIPs. We did add team access. We're in the testing phase, still in the testing phase for a few more days, making sure the team member access works for all team members. Thank you for our folks testing that. We do have 44 documents loaded out there. And this week, the video hub, the courses hub is they're up and they're up and working, not alive. We got a couple snags in making them work properly, but they're working for us. By the end of the week, they should be fine. Congratulations, and get your people out there and working inside the hub. Like I said, we aim to get you educated. That's what the hub is all about. That's what FFLC Academy is all about. The academy is still free. Go ahead and get your people training out there, pass the courses, ask the questions, watch the videos, get the certificates of training, put them in your training files, make it part of your onboarding process. It's all free. There's still a lot of free stuff out there. Again, we're here for anytime VIP access. And you can get it too. Just click on, you only sign in once, then that button right there at the top of our website will get you in automatically every time. You only do this once after you join us, or your team members will get this. They will have to go in this week or next and set up their email and password. That way they're not using your password to go in and watch the hub or take courses or complete courses. Again, they're just going to get that screen. And so we are excited. We got the docs out there. We got the LOCKTON Affinity connection out there now. That's the connection on our hub for LOCKTON Affinity. The courses and the videos hub will be up by the end of the week. We're super excited about that. So go and see what it's all about if you haven't. The Restricted States Guide is going to be out on Thursday this week. We will send that directly to everybody on this call. You don't have to go out and download it. As soon as we get it approved through our attorneys always have to go through this and make sure everything's right before we publish it. So that's a little snag right now with all this NFA stuff going on. And that is it, guys. It's that
They
time.
wanted to do a shout out to Chris over in Virginia. They got 100% as well.
Woohoo! All right, ATF.
ATF.
Very good. All right, JC, this is rapid fire FAQ time. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
All right, guys.
Please don't ask me any more NFA questions.
I'm going to poke through this. Bear with me, as some might be duplicates of things we already asked. We talked about silent shop putting this statement out. We already know that you probably shouldn't listen to any statements from any third parties and vendors unless you get attorney approval, and you have an attorney. Before you get ATF approval, yeah, that's what you have to do. All right. Brother says, what do we do with the silent shop transfers that may not be in our e-form system? Since in Louisiana, silence the shop is telling everyone that it's a 4473 only transfer.
Send them back an email and ask them if they're going to cover you as far as legal defense is concerned. I would refuse it, to be honest.
Yep.
I wouldn't take the chance. I just wouldn't do it.
We probably told 100 folks last week, 100 silence to shop customers, send them an email to the sales rep who's sending you all this stuff saying, are you going to indemnify? Indemnify means protect me legally if I get in trouble for this. Are you going to indemnify me if things backfire? Just send a simple email, see what you get. I already know what the answer is. All right, silence the shop is shipping suppressors that have not sold as not requiring Form 4, and those customers are expecting us to release them on Form 4473. We're going to be between a rock and a hard place. You are right, because customers can go onto the Silence the Shop website and just have them drop ship to your store. So, JC, again, just send them back.
Yeah, refuse it or send it back. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, you might have to put a sign. A lot of you put a sign on your door last week that said you're only transferring NFA items with a Form 4 approval. That's a very simple sign to put on your front door or on your website or blast out email to your customers. Until further notice, unfortunately, blah, 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 it might solve a lot of counter arguments, front counter arguments. I think, Jason, we may have already answered, said, what would happen in Colorado because the NFA goes bust in Colorado still
becomes a dangerous weapon. Yep, becomes a dangerous weapon, and therefore we have a big problem.
And folks, don't think we just sat here last week. JC, I think you were with the ATF on Tuesday, and then you talked to them 3 or 4 times Thursday and Friday.
Yep.
The comments we got, or the response I think JC was getting, I'm paraphrasing, is, guys, we got a room full of attorneys sitting or trying to figure this out. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically where the ATF is right now. It came fast and furious, and I think a lot of people were not prepared. Expecting us to read this. Okay, sorry, we did that. We're hearing from ATF is releasing information today. Have you heard anything like that?
Have not.
No, that's a rumor, and the rumor is coming from somebody we know where one of the big box stores who is passing it out to people who are passing it on, and it's just not true. In fact, the director of compliance for the big box store is probably on this call today, and he confirms it's not true. All right. Our IOI has said that they were supposed to receive some information today from headquarters about the entire situation. No, we haven't heard anything yet. Okay. And guys, we might be wrong. Maybe at 2 o'clock today, we'll get some information, or 4 o'clock, but right now we have nothing. As much as I love this for the industry, there are still way too many unanswered questions. So my personal opinion, that I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of dealers in hot water from this whole thing. Good comment. Thank you, Denise. Odin, yes, we kind of feel the same. That's why the attorneys online, the attorneys we talk to, and we are saying, unless you're ready to defend it legally, don't do it. Okay. It's funny that we just had this LOCKTON presentation because I think a lot of people are going to be signing up. And I'm surprised Jeff actually replied the way he did so fast. But
yeah.
I know a local FFL has people posting on social media that they are releasing suppressors on a 4473 only. This is a customer posting info about it, and we are not in a protected state.
Well, then he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, he will be no matter what happens. You know, here's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to say the law changed on a future date. The ATF ruling I don't think is going to coincide with backdating effectively to April 12th. So it's going to be very interesting to watch. Again, we are not attorneys. We're interpreting the law. Brian said, especially if they jump the gun and start transferring things without Form 4s. Now, again, Form 4s are a requirement no matter what happens. It's just how do you handle that 4 in a background check, et cetera. Asking again, in case I missed it, what if Silencer Shop sends us a suppressor that is not on a Form 3? Send it back.
Yep, refuse it.
We do say put them in your bound book and acquire them, dispose them same day, just for chain of custody, and mark it as such. You know, no Form 3 received. Fit that in there somewhere, because if these get lost someplace in between sending them back, there's going to be lots of questions. Billy says, I learned the hard way in Massachusetts. Thanks for the help on John. Okay, cool. Billy, could this potentially be turned over with a possible new presidential regime?
That's what we've been saying this entire time. All these wonderful things, the reform package, all of this. Now, granted, if this stay occurs and if the court, they don't overturn it, it remains, then that's a different story. But all the reform package stuff can all be unwound. So keep that in mind. You know, all these things that ATF and DOJ and the AG's office are doing today are all well and good. But the next administrations could spend the first 2 years of their administration unraveling all this stuff. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and
even worse, Congress could enact a new NFA law. We don't know,
or a new NFA tax.
Yep. So
we got to be careful. I mean, if the House goes the other way, Senate and the House, I mean, it could go the other way. So again, pedal to the metal on full 100% compliance.
Yep.
Joe, thanks for the comments. Good talking with you the other day. Matt says, similarly related, but I also haven't received my SOT for this year, even though I paid for it on June 7th. I've emailed NFA Division 3 times with no response.
Yeah. As long as you have a receipt, and that's all they're sending is a receipt, essentially. The new SOTs that are coming out don't have control numbers. It's going to have a franking, like a register franking, like you used to see on the back of checks. And that's all it's going to be, is a receipt. So if you haven't received one, keep sending them an email and requesting one. But if you have a receipt of payment, then you have receipt of payment.
Yeah, Matt, if you need JC, you have his number. He'll be traveling later today, but maybe JC available tomorrow?
Yes, I'll
Matt over in Texas. All right. Thank you, brothers, for the comments. All right, yeah, should be okay. We asked Jeff. He said, "Yeah, if you guys get screwed up in this debacle right now, having a locked-in program in place will act as a program for you.
There you go.
Edward says, not only should you wait for the final rules to be published before acting, there will also be effective dates that's published as well. Like, absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
Guys, we have to wait for the government to put the new speed limit signs up on the highway. Okay, before we just drive too fast. Who do we email the application for? Just go to our website or watch this replay on Thursday. We posted the email up there. When we do ammo transfers, we are supposed to be collecting info like ammo type and quantity, occupation, etc. This is from Diana. When we do ammo transfers, always supposed to be collecting info like ammo type and quantity, etc.
Reach out to me so I can understand what you're doing. There is certain requirements for certain types of ammo, and there's also some state requirements. So reach out. I would need some more information to give you that answer.
Yeah, in general, the incendiary,
armor piercing,
stuff like that may have state respective restrictions. We do have all of that information on our restricted states guide available off our website. We update monthly as we get it. But yeah, you can call JC. But as far as just shipping basic ammo, again, you just have to make sure it's adult signature required, ground delivery. Oh no, is it air or ground? I don't.
Ground.
Ground.
Yeah, certain states do have restrictions, so you just reach out. We don't need to get into it. We're contemplating information we don't have.
Yep. All right. Mike says, does the locked-in insurance coverage also represent FFLs dealing with local or state compliance issues? We talked about that.
Yep. Not yet.
Yep. Mike, our website may say we're going to change our website, but the website today says may not be available in Washington State. But you heard Jeff say that it is. So give him use that email contact list. We talked about that. New Jersey uses personal for each registration. Yes, SWAT Rivera. New Jersey is just under the gun to change everything they do. So stay tuned on that. We hope by October we'll have firm direction on that. Nathan says, I thought because the customer sent it and then you received a new one. This is back to the repaired gun, JC.
Yep.
Because the customer sent it and then you received a new one and wasn't the one you sent, that would have to do a background check. No,
as long as it's the same type of firearm. So if you sent a pistol and they sent you back a new pistol, no 4473, no background check. It has to be the same type. It could be a different model, but it has to be the same type.
JC, I'm dumb, so I'm going to ask you, if they send a pistol and they send me a revolver.
Nope.
Right.
Same type.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't do that anyway, but a pistol, and like Taurus is doing this a lot, guys. Burst is doing this. Glock is even doing some of it now. They're just sending a new gun versus trying to repair an old gun.
Yep.
Okay. Is a 410 bore lever action Winchester a rifle or a shotgun?
Shotgun.
It's all based on the ammunition and the barrel type.
Right. It's a smooth bore. It's a shotgun.
Yeah. Now you might have a rifled barrel on a shooting shotgun slugs, right? That would be a rifle or shotgun.
If it's a rifled barrel, it's a rifle.
Right. Okay. Dave, hey Dave. I look forward to your call at least tonight or tomorrow. You always hit me up. Dave said, you mentioned earlier we need a hard copy FFL when receiving a firearm. No, that's not true.
No, a digital copy is fine. You just need to receive a copy and verify it through EasyCheck right now.
No, Jay. He says when receiving a firearm, not sending.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't have to get anything.
Yeah. When you receive a firearm, you don't need anything. It's the sending party that requires proof that they're sending it to a licensed dealer.
Exactly. Yep. Sorry about that.
So Dave says, we have in the past received firearms with a note basically saying ATF advises we not send a hard copy FFL copy. Should we refuse transfers to the buyer until we have a hard copy? No. So Dave, no, the rule is you don't need to have a FFL copy in the box for the guns coming into your store. But before you ship a gun to another FFL, you need to make sure you see their FFL license. It's unexpired. And whether you view it or get a PDF copy is fine. Okay. And if you need more on that, just give me a ring. Thank you. Thank you. Good meeting. Thanks, Dave. Bennett says, we're hearing the ATF is releasing information. We talked about that. Mary says, hi, Mary. Mary says, I heard rumor that the silencer shop is shipping suppressors as an AOW with no Form 3. How would you suggest handling this? Send it back or
Suppressor's
reply
not an
them?
AOW. So I would tell you that that rumor is probably just that, a rumor and not true.
Yeah. And Mary, if you don't have it on a Form 3, is the general consensus, just send it back. Yeah. And a Form 3 gets approved pretty quickly. I mean, you might say, I'll keep it, send me a Form 3. But if you don't have that in 2 or 3 days showing up in your NFRTR, send it back. And believe me, there's lots of pushback from silencer shop. When you talk to the sales rep, they're going to try to convince you otherwise. So be careful there. And we're not poo-pooing silencer shop. And we do work with silencer shop too. It's just, this is causing everybody a lot of angst. Nathan says, we have put out information everywhere that we are following normal NFA procedures until proper guidance is giving out new policies. Very good. Is New Jersey, if in New Jersey doing regulatory checks, we have ours tomorrow. So there you go, guys. Until the law changes, the regulators are going to be out looking for problems and errors and violations.
Yep.
You know, unfortunately,
New
as we say,
Jersey-
sometimes you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, New Jersey, unfortunately, is probably focusing on the AR and the MAG ban.
Yeah.
So
They're checking to see who's running fast without getting legal counsel.
right.
And we know some are. So Terry says, a firearm is sent to us, for a transfer to a customer. A firearm is not legal in this state. The shipper will not take returns. What to do? Who owns the firearm?
Contact the ATF. And if it's state, I would contact your state regulator. If it's New Jersey State Police, whoever, say, hey, look, we received a non-compliant firearm. I need to go ahead and turn this over.
Terry, we have an email guide. If you email us at info@FFL Consultants or email me directly at jb@FFL Consultants, I'll send you the guide and your options and process for handling this. We call it the abandoned firearms process, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, Shane says, is a multiple sale report required for stripped AR lowers and receivers?
No. Nope. Handguns and long guns in southwestern states, southern border states that border Mexico. Those are the only times multi-sales are supposed to be turned in.
Just a little clarity, guys. A receiver, JC said it earlier, receiver is a receiver. You know, there's no differentiation between a completed receiver, a stripped receiver, a partial receiver. If it's got a serial number on it, it's just a receiver. And they're not lowers. Don't list them in your bound books or software as lowers. List them as receivers. Okay. Can an employee of our store bring a suppressor from our inventory to the range with a copy of our SOT, or do they have to be listed as a responsible person first?
Reach out to us. I'll give you the process for that. They should have a letter advising that they are a W-2 employee of the business, a copy of FFL, copy of the SOT. And we always say bring a copy of the Form 3 that is on as well, just to have in their possession in case questions are asked.
So the quick answer is yes, but there's paperwork required.
Yeah.
Darren says, any clarification on the parts kits for Colorado new regs? Yes.
I thought we put something out on that, didn't we?
Yeah. So hey, Darren and anybody else in Colorado, just go to our website. It's so easy. It's right there on our website as a guide. We updated that on Thursday morning of last week.
Yep.
It's got everything you need to know about Colorado. And the answer is yes. Parts kits are considered firearms under the new laws, as are receivers.
Correct. Receivers and frames. So, and it depends on the part kit actually contains the regulated items. So there's questions around that. It's all covered in the document that we put out.
Yeah. It's a long guide, but it's everything you need to know about Colorado, and any gun dealer dealing with Colorado customers anyway should do that. Here's another one yet not asked. If an out-of-state resident comes to Colorado to buy an AR, they can. An AR rifle. If somebody from Kansas comes into your store in Colorado and wants to buy an AR rifle, no problem.
Yep. They don't have to go through the SSF process. They're not a state resident.
Right. Just like
it
in
only applies
Colorado.
to in-state. transfers. It's the craziest law ever.
It's the stupidest, craziest inside out law we've been dealing with. All right, Nathan says, I know it's the same type I read. Your question is the customer sent the firearm in for repair, and then you, as the FFL, received a replacement, but you were not the one who sent the firearm in for repair, and the customer was the one who sent me the firearm in for repair, meaning you are now receiving a replacement for one you did not send in for repair. Okay, so if a customer sends a gun in directly, I think we had it in the true and false questions, or similar. If a customer sends it from their house, they go to the mail, they send it through appropriate shipping process to Taurus to get fixed, and they replace the firearm and instead of sending it directly back to the customer's house, which they're allowed to do on a repair, they send it through the local dealer. You have to call the customer to come pick it up. You will have to do a background check and 4473 at that point, because you were not the one to receive it from the customer originally for repair. Hopefully that's the question you were asking. Okay. The PS to that is if the customer comes in and gives you a gun for repair, you send it off to Taurus. They replace it, send it back to you. You hand it back to the customer. In that case, you do not need a background check in 4473 because they did originally initiate it with you directly. All right. Very confusing, but when you guys have that type of question, give us a call. Joe says, do you at least need fast ID to receive it into your bound book? Don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
Okay. Nathan says, okay, that's what I thought. Bennett says, if a customer asks us to ship a customer to them while they ship a gun to them while they're away on vacation, will they need to do a 4473 where they receive it, or is the 4473 waived because they shipped it to themselves?
Yeah. So the way that works is, say they're going, I don't know, say they're going from Virginia to go hunt in Colorado. If they ship the firearm to themselves, care of, and it's very specific, ships it to themselves, care of the FFL name, and the FFL does not open the box, then yes, they can be handed a parcel. That is, as long as you do not open it and take possession, it is considered a parcel.
This is happening a lot more and more because people are tired of trying to get their guns through TSA and through the airports and that type of thing. So people are shipping a lot. You can ship a gun. A customer comes in. I had one this morning over in Georgia. Customer came in. Can I ship this gun to himself in New York? He's traveling up to Long Island, New York, with a gun, and he doesn't want to carry it and do all that, and he wants to ship it to a dealer in care of himself, his name, and he has coordinated all of that with his dealer up in New York. Hey, my box is coming. Don't open it. Hey, Joe, I'll be up there. And the answer is yes. You do not have. You can ship the parcel. He can pick up the parcel as long as JC said not opened, not in the bound book. You might have some other filing system for UPS shipping or whatever that you got that back in, have somebody sign for it, check his ID, but it does not require a bound book processing or a 4473 in a background check. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, so I guess he said, so the shipping FFL logs it in the bound book.
No. This is not a situation. It's a parcel. This is not a situation. If they come to you, have them put it in a box, have them tape it up, have them put their name, care of the FFL and the address, seal it, they bring it to you, you slap a shipping label on it, and you ship it. You are just acting as the shipper. You're not taking it into your bound book.
You're acting as UPS Brown.
Yep.
Have them make sure they are calling and connecting with the other guy on the other end, make sure everything's okay and going to be received correctly.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you never touch the firearm. We don't want you touching it.
Yeah. Wow, JC, I think we finished a little early based on our prediction.
Thank goodness. I got to get going.
Hey, everyone. Listen, look forward to you in mid to late September. We're going to wait to start to see what happens with all of this 34 rule and NFA stuff. We don't want to do early September. We want to wait till we have the most information we can. So probably mid-September. We'll see you. We'll see you guys. Love getting great news from y'all. Yeah, you too, Nathan. Love you. Thanks for attending, everyone. And thanks for sticking with us. And we'll have the recording out to you probably on Thursday, hopefully. All right, everyone, call us if you need us, and sign up for that Lockton program. Best deal in town. See you later.
So yeah.